Okay, folks, today I'm going to be going over um, the final product for the data representation. So at this point, you should have picked the topic that you're going to collect data on, um, decided which variables on that topic you're going to be recording, and you should have recorded data for all three of those variables. All right, what I should say actually is at least three of those variables. Okay? And so now it's time for you to think about how you're going to do your final product. So here's my final product for rock climbing. So this is my representation of my rock climbing data from when I went to the gym on 5/14. Okay, so let's talk about what this means. And so you need a key to go with your data, because I think for a lot of you, you could look at this and say, well, what does that representation actually mean? You probably have a lot of questions about it. Well, the key is what's going to explain your representation so that someone who didn't collect this data would know how to read it. Okay, so here's how I did my key. So first, I've got this color code here, and the most difficult routes are in white and pink. You'll see I don't have any of those. I think for me, the most difficult one that I completed was in orange. And then the least difficult routes are in yellow. And this is how my gym codes the rock climbing routes that you do. So if you look at my representation, you'll see some of the lines are yellow, some of them are red, some of them are green, some of them are purple, some of them are orange. So the yellow routes, you can see I kind of did at the beginning and end, and same thing with the red routes. I did one at the beginning, one at the end. And then sort of the middle of my workout, it's all green, purple, and orange routes. And so that's sort of how my workout went. Is I warmed up on some yellow and red routes, did some orange, purple, and some green, purple, and orange routes in the middle, and then I cooled down on a red and yellow route. Okay. All right, so that's what the colors represent. How about the lines? The length of the line represents how long it took me to climb that route. So you can see I've got sort of a key here for what different lengths represent. So this is 120 seconds, this is 80 seconds, this is 40 seconds, this is 20 seconds. So the length of the line is proportional to how long it took me to climb the route. So you can see this purple route right here is the one that took me the longest. The yellow and red routes took me the shortest amount of time to climb, probably because they're the easiest, and so it didn't take me a ton of time to climb the route. Okay, and so then the last thing that I represented on this postcard was a timeline, and the position of the lines on the timeline tell at which time I started to complete each route. So you can see I started this yellow route at 1:05, and I started this yellow route at 2:05. And so these kind of give you a sense of the relative times at which I started each route. This green one right here is about halfway, so you can see that that one's probably at about 2 o'clock. I think it was actually a little bit after. But yeah, essentially the position of these lines on the timeline are telling you when I climbed each route. Okay, so now your job is to think of a unique way in which you could represent your data. So hopefully you've kind of already planned this out a little bit, but maybe this will give you some ideas for the planning. So think about how you are going to represent your data and for your postcard. Let me know if you have any questions or need any inspiration.